Hi, it's James Taylor here from Gigs Academy. You really have to kind of go to the next stage, which is the sixth stage, which is all about renewing. It's about renewing your music, renewing your brand, renewing your live shows. It's about, injecting a new life and new ideas into your music, because often, I've worked with artists that have been here who they're stale. Their music can become stale, so they need to take a risk and they need to renew their music. And the classic examples of this are people like Davie Bowie, Madonna, who every 10 years they'll give a new lease of life to what they're doing with new ideas. Maybe it's new collaborations or new inspiration from musically that they're doing. So that there's the 3 R's that relate to this idea of renewing. The first is they reinvent. They're reinventing themselves. They're masters of reinvention. The second point is that they're looking to reconnect maybe with the audiences that were here right at the very start. They've maybe lost some of that relationship with them, and they just want to reconnect with these audiences, and also reconnect with what they feel makes them makes their music. So maybe it's about reinventing their sound as well. And then they're rediscovering their love of music, because often at this point, I've seen artists that have just been on a bit of a treadmill of just touring non-stop, the constant the releases, the press interviews, and they get burnt out. So they have to sometimes take a step back and rediscover and fall in love again with why they got into music, why they write songs, what they love about playing live, what they love about being in the studio. So that's an incredibly important point. Also here is they're looking to build new audiences. So they have their initial audiences, and what you're always going to find is as you work on your next album, your next project, next live show, you're going to see people leaving. And that's fine. That happens. They move on to new artists, or they maybe leave your music for a while and kind of rediscover it again. I did this really successfully with an artist who had a lot of big hits in the 80s and 90s, and then it kind of gone away, and they had some issues, and they really needed to just renew themselves as a band. And they did it incredibly well. And one of the ways that they did it was appealing to these new audiences. In this case, it was appealing to the children of their original fans, so that the parents and the kids would come along to their shows. And, they were suddenly filling out arenas again. They were suddenly having hit albums again, top 10 albums, because they reconnected what fundamentally made them as a band and why they got involved in music in the first place. So I hope these 6 stages have been useful to you. They can provide you an overall framework in which to think about your career. So as you can see, and as you can recognize, that the kind of things that you're looking to achieve at the explore stage are very different from the supercharged stage. So don't ever be fooled in thinking that you need to be doing all these things that people are telling you to do right now. As you progress in your career, you're going to be wanting to do different things, and you're going to be wanting to put different emphasis on different parts of building your career. So at this point, you just want to be spending your time, woodshedding. You want to be in there writing new tunes, trying out new ideas, new concepts, experimenting as a musician. At this stage, you want to be kind of finding out if your music is connecting with people. Does it hit them? Does it make the impact that you want your music to make? Then at this point, you're really refining what you're doing. You're polishing, this music and the live shows that you've created. And then, you're supercharging. You're having great fun, just really knocking it out of the park. And then you're looking to maximize, all this hard work that you've done in, and maximize for as long as possible and create new revenue streams. And finally, you need to kind of reinvent yourself and renew yourself as an artist. So I hope this video has been useful to you. I'd love to hear your comments, answer your questions. Please, at the bottom of this video, you'll find a section where you can ask questions. I'm happy to answer those as well. And I look forward to catching up with you soon.